Hello, this is Malorian, and this is Orc Tactical Team, and what I want to talk about today is controlling the magic phase by controlling the combat phase. So, one of the most new powerful aspects to 8th is the magic phase. I mean, you got these crazy large spells, and certain things like Flesh to Stone, Mind Razor, Purple Sun. Well, I guess Purple Sun's a little bit hard to control, but there's a lot of these really powerful spells, and the part that I'm trying to key in is that part of it is just it just makes you so strong in combat that it doesn't matter what you have, you're gonna beat the other person. Like even if you have skinks that are backed up by the lore of life, well, all of a sudden you have skinks which are toughness 6 and have regeneration, and just being in combat with you makes you take hits at the end of the magic phase, and so it can be extremely powerful. And the really depressing part can be is, well, what can I even do to stop this? I mean, there's the whole tactics of using your scrolls and your dice and what you try and shut down, but in the end there's only so much you can do. And so what you start having to turn to is trying to control the magic phase by controlling the combat phase. And this is something I really learned back when I did a lot of ogres. And the reason for that is that I knew that for ogre kingdoms, well, you had all these great spells that beef up your guys, and there remains in play. But the problem is that when we got to your opponent's phase, he would just dispel them because the remains in play, boom, they're all gone, and all of a sudden it was all for nothing. And so the real thing you had to really work on is make sure that the turn that you are using all this magic and beefing up your guys is a turn that you're charging in. So you want to make sure you have the charge so that you're controlling when combat is, controlling what the matchups are, and that's where you can beef up this unit, beat them, and by the time that it gets to their turn, they're already defeated and ran down or what have you. Now, obviously, a lot of the spells are not remains in play anymore. A lot of them are augment and hexes, but the same thing still applies. That if you let your opponent decide when he charges and when combat is, well, then he's going to get to also decide what units are going to have the augments and what units are going to have the hexes. So you're going to want to be balancing this and make sure that you are getting the charge, even though, I mean, there's a big thing in there in 8th that, oh, the charge doesn't matter anymore, right? Now you're going to attack anyway, it's +1 combat res, who cares? Well, this is a big part where it does really matter because you're getting to decide what spells will be in play. And, I mean, the augments and the hexes only last one turn. So, I mean, if you're all set up for a charge and all of a sudden he's augmented and you're hexed, well, then you don't charge. You just, shift back or something, and then you wait to do the charges on your next turn if possible. So really try and use that to your advantage. Really try and make sure that you control the magic phase by controlling when the combat phase happens. So that's it. Pretty simple topic, but if you can get this down packed, it makes a huge difference in your games. So thanks for watching. Bye.